for the webinar. And then we'll basically just pass it on to Mark. He's going to be taking care of pretty much everything, all the presentation today, talking about Movavi and creating some really cool projects using kind of, I guess, Movavi in combination with Cartoon Animator, and also showing how to use animation using reference videos to create your animations. He'll tell him more about it later. I'm just here to talk about the marketing stuff, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. And let's see here. All right, hopefully everyone can see my screen. Little brief outline for the webinar today. This is what we're
but
talking about.
I'm hearing you double. There's like echo when you
Oh,
start,
is that right?
only when you started sharing the screen. Yes.
Oh, when I started sharing the screen. Oh, okay, let me share without sharing the sound then. There we go. Is that better?
Yes, that's it. There you go.
Right on. I guess there's some double sharing going on. All right. Thanks, Mark. Anyways, here's the outline. I think you guys have already seen most of this. We won't go dig into it too much. This is kind of just the demo outline. So if you're unfamiliar with what to expect in the next hour, this is pretty much it. And moving on, we have a couple of some pre-MOV samplers on this website right here. I'm going to link this in the chat window for you guys. And here there's some really good MOV sampler videos and images and stuff that you can, and effects that you can use in your project. So these are all for free. Let me just throw this into the chat window here to everyone. There we go. A lot of people from all over the place. Eh? Right on. I'm actually in Calgary, Canada right now, not in Vancouver right now. Yeah, so that's I wanted to share that with you guys. You can check this out on your own time. There's a few, you can see the characters here. These are all free, so feel free to download that. Download a few samplers right here from that link I put in the chat window. As well, for all of you who are attending via Zoom, we're going to provide a 20% off discount coupon for all the Movavi personal items here on the Movavi store. So I'll throw this in the chat window for you. Hello from Phil from Orange County. Yeah, so this and yeah, we've thrown in all the other information there. There's a coupon code in the chat window for you guys. So this is only available to the people attending via Zoom. So unfortunately, the people on YouTube right now, you'll have to join with Zoom if you want to get this coupon code, because we can't just give it away to everyone on YouTube. Yeah, and of course we have this social emoticons too. This is a special that's going to be it's good for 2 more days. So you get a $10 discount on this one, and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. There's motions and perform actions. So if you're not familiar, perform are like, you know, motions with expressions and all that stuff as well. So you can browse this site on your own time, and I'll throw this final one into the chat window. Oh, looks like it's already done. I have my helper that's on the ball, getting stuff out there right away. Yeah, okay. I think that's all the stuff that I really want to promote for now. Just a couple of basics to go over with the webinar, like we've gone over before. So we will have a Q&A session at the very end. If you have any questions, please put your questions in the Q&A section of the Zoom panel there, and we will get to those after the live demo that Mark's going to do with us here. And we are recording this as well, so we'll send you a YouTube video link later on after this if you want to review it on your own time. For those of you attending via live stream on YouTube, unfortunately we won't be answering questions from YouTube, so make sure that you join on Zoom if you want to ask a question of either of us at the end, and we'll have that Q&A later. As well, finally, we're going to be sending out the survey for you guys. So if you have any feedback, any comments, any suggestions for future webinars, please put that in the feedback form that we're going to send out, and you get the big old 10% discount from the content store once you fill that in and send it back. And I think that pretty much covers all the bases. Mark, anything you want to say before we hit the road, get started here?
Nothing. Just hit the road, Jack. Let's get it started.
Ready to get going?
All righty.
Right on.
Yes.
All right, take it away, Mark.
All right. I'm gonna start by sharing my screen. It's gonna stop sharing yours apparently. And it's going to share this screen. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see the screen. All
All
good.
good? Yep.
Perfect. Alrighty. So this is what we're going to talk about in this webinar. How to make an outstanding animated project with Movavi and Cartoon Animator 4. Because really, you can do animations that look weird, right? And also you can do animations that look cool. Both of them are okay, by the way, just so you know. Some people create animations that look really weird, animations that nobody like, but these people are not doing it so people like them. They are just doing it because it's fun, and that's totally valid. So hey, if you're having fun and you're just happy with what you're doing, just keep exploring stuff. In this webinar, I won't focus on just having fun, but I will focus on having fun while creating animations that look cool. So the question is, how can you create something that people happily watch more than once? Because that is a pretty good way to see how cool your animation really is. If it's really cool, then people watch it more than once, right? So how can you do this? There are two strategies. Strategy one, depend on luck. Yeah, just create something the best you can and then hope for the best. This might work for some people because, hey, some people are just lucky. Sometimes the zip code determines how successful you're going to be. And for some people, the zip code determines, like, oh, I'm going to be broke for the rest of my life, etc. Some people have really wealthy parents who buy them everything, and they have amazing genes. They are beautiful physically, and also they have amazing talent and gifts and do amazing stuff without any effort. So hey, if you're lucky, if you're one of those, good for you. And by all means, use this strategy, man. Go buy a lottery ticket or something. Lucky is on your side. In this webinar, I won't focus on this because you got it made. Instead, I want to focus for those of us who have no skills and no luck. So how can people with no skills and no luck create cool stuff? Here's a simple answer. This answer, by the way, it has been working for super successful people, even multimillionaires who started with the worst of luck, in the worst circumstances. And that is strategy two, preparation. Hey, if you have no skills and no luck, this is what you can do. Prepare. This is really true. I believe in this old proverb. This is really true when you don't want to depend on luck. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Again, if you're lucky, that's the exception. You don't plan anything. You just go guns blazing, and in the end, sometimes everything works out great. Good for you. But if you're not lucky and then you don't want to depend on luck, then yes, this is really true. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So do some planning. Murphy, if anyone is familiar with with Murphy's law, if things can go bad, things will go bad. So to make a great plan that will help you to create an outstanding animated project, what are the ingredients for something that looks really cool, something super cool? Well, easy. The ingredient is good ideas. That's it. How do you get good ideas? Well, I covered this in my last webinar. For those of you who missed it, here's the answer. By getting tons of ideas. How? I hope a lot of you remember the answer. References. As simple as that. You get good ideas by getting references. So today you will learn how to transform video references into animation, how to plan your animations, and while we're doing that, you will be learning the essentials of video editing in Movavi. And after that, You will learn about how to do original character creation in Cartoon Animator. And finally, how to export transparent video from Cartoon Animator that you can later use very easily in Movavi. So let's start with the first one, how to transform video references into animation. Now, for those of you who remember, in my last webinar, I talked about this. I went in depth into how to animate characters and make them dance. So if you go to the webinars, I am gonna post the link on the chat right now. This is the last webinar we did. And it's called the Standout for Animated Videos with Decent Fan. And in there, I went into depth, step by step. But there's one thing, I left one piece of the puzzle out. And that was to prepare the video references. And that is what we're going to learn today here, right? Everything will be to create an animation like this one. For those of you who were not in the last webinar, let me show you just to get some context. This is the final animation we did. Oh, wait, let me make sure I'm sharing with sound. I probably was not sharing with sound, right? Let me play it. Okay, I don't know if the volume was too loud. Do let me know. I can lower it a little bit.
Sounded good to me.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go to the next one. That's an animation that any of you can do, right? Any of you can do an animation like this. And I'm going to show you now a 1 minute behind the scenes, the making of. And I did that by just recording myself dancing to the music and then transform all those moves into actual animation, right? Let me show you again, just for you to get some context of what we're doing. Okay, this is I'm super excited every time I see it. The video you just saw is something that you can do too. And I know I was doing okay, because when I showed it to my family, they were like, oh, that's cool. Can you play it again? That's a good indicator that you have something cool going on. So I want to make this emphasis, like I'm not doing anything magical, like any of you can do this, right? And in this class, I'm going to show you how all of you can prepare the video references, okay, for this. So let me go to, I'm gonna stop sharing this screen, and then I'm going to share now this other screen here. And I'm going to go into Movavi. Let me go, I have Movavi right here. And I'm going to start a new project right here. That is going to open a new document in Movavi right here. And for any of you who want to follow along, I believe the team already posted this link. I'm going to just post it again in the chat. There you go. And in there, if any of you, you can download the project files and you're gonna get something like this. Let me just get the project files. This is what you get. You get this file, you unzip it, and then you get these 4 folders, right? Now, for any of you who's watching the replay of this, the link is also going to be added in the description for this video. So I'm going to go to reference animation. And the first thing is I'm going to import the dance clip music. I just click and drag, as simple as that, into Movavi. There you go. And that's the clip. I can play it here, look. Okay, so we have the music, right? Now I'm going to import this video. It's a video, one of the videos that I used. This was recorded with my camera, my webcam. And then again, I just click and drag into Movavi, and there we go. Now, when you import any video into Movavi, you cannot move it freely. Look, back, it goes back to the beginning. Why? Because it has the gaps disabled. What I can do is click on enable gaps, and now I can move this clip freely. The next thing I want to do is right click and then detach the audio, because I don't want the audio here. I'm going to detach and then click on only the audio and then press delete. That's it. Now, from here, I'm not gonna use the whole clip, because in here, I hit play on the computer and then I start playing, and then I get prepared and then I start dancing with the music multiple times, right? So what I'm gonna do is find the poses. We're looking to find the key poses. For any of you who has taken the 12 principles of animation in Cartoon Animator, which is free for all of you, is the catchy principle, right? Is key poses, extremes, passing poses, and in-betweens. So right now, we want to find the poses that are the key poses and the extremes, right? Right here in the video. So it's good to know a little bit of theory. Let me go to this screen. I'm sharing the correct screen, right? I have Movavi, just making sure. So in here, I just click and drag, and I'm looking for the first position. That's the second one. I'm going to go frame by pressing Control right, or you can also press Control left to go back, right? I'm going to go frame by frame, look, frame by frame until I find this position. Once I find it, I want to cut. For that, I'm going to press Control, select the clip, and then I can press Control B. That's the shortcut that I use. I press Control Z to undo, just to show you the other way to do it is clicking on this cut, which is the same. In here, it says split, and the shortcut is Control B. So that is where my clip is going to start. The character is going to start in that position. So, probably I'm going too fast. I select the clip before and just press delete, and then click and drag this clip and then synchronize it with the music. I'm gonna play and see if this is in sync. Yeah, pretty cool. Now, this something that I explained in the other webinar. I'm not gonna go in depth in here, but it was that one of the things that I found from watching references of the music videos was that the clips of dancing people were very short. So this is going to be only this part. And that's it. That's it. It's going to be as short as that, right? Now, what I want to find is the second position, which is this one. That's the second position. I'm going to, actually, I think I like it there. Let me see if I'm going frame by frame moving forward. And I believe this is the frame, right? Let me, right there, this one. So what I'm going to do is I want this frame to be in sync with this beat of the music. What I can do to move this very precisely is pressing Alt and then right. And that moves the whole clip to this beat of the music. I want to put the cursor where the next beat of the music you can see visually. And that's the position that I want. Yes, very nice. I cut, and with that, I have this position, right? This is position number 1, right here. And then if I press shift and then right, I can jump between those cuts. Look, that is going to be one key position, and this is going to be another one. And then I'm going to divide this area right here. Let me select only this clip. I'm going to divide it in 3. So this is going to be one of the passing positions, pressing Control B, and then another one that is going to be around here, pressing also Control B, right? And now look at this. I have from here and then shift right, shift right, shift right. That's the positions I need to post in Cartoon Animator. I don't have to do frame by frame. I only need 1, 2, 3, 4 positions for this, right? And from here, if you're smart in Cartoon Animator, you just go back like this. And you have a character dancing. All we needed was 4 simple frames. And we have a character dancing right there for this one, right? And that's it. That's how you set it up, right? So now, again, let me just also everybody knows, this is the step that I skipped in the last webinar. In the last webinar, I explained how I post every single frame in Cartoon Animator, right? So now I'm going to go back to sharing the presentation, and that is on this screen right there. And that's how you prepare the video references to transform them into animation. It's very easy. I did it in a couple of minutes. Now let's talk about how to plan your animations. Again, this is so important that I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to mention it again. Hopefully you will get it ingrained in your brain. There are 2 strategies. Strategy number 1, and this is legit. I'm not kidding when I say that you can depend on luck. Sometimes good luck is on your side. So that's one strategy. And strategy number 2 is to prepare, right? If you're not lucky, or if you don't want to depend on luck, then follow strategy 2, which I'm going to explain right now. How to plan your animations. How can you do that? How? All right, let me stop sharing. I'm going to now share my other screen. And this is screen here. So how do you plan your animations, right? The first thing is to do one very important thing. First, I'm going to share you an animation that we did last year. Actually, wait, no, not yet. Before I want to show you an animation right here. An animation we did, I believe, 2 years ago. And if you already seen it, then here it is. And actually, this was from last year. I'm gonna play it just so you can see. 先生、先生、ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。それはよかったな。でも心配すんな。すぐにあいつに参加する。死ね。Oops, continue. And that's it. No, I love anime, so I had it in Japanese, etc., etc. So question, how did we do this animation? Do you think was with good luck, or like it was an accident? Like, oh, look, we just drop a couple of things and oh, look what came out. Or did we did all of that with preparation? Well, I can tell you that animation was no accident. We did very careful preparation. How? By using a storyboard. A lot of you say, yeah, storyboard. Yeah, I never use it. Yeah, I probably, if I've seen some of the work, I go, yeah, I can tell you you're not using storyboard. A storyboard helps you save a lot of time. And by the way, a storyboard doesn't have to be amazing. This one you're seeing right now is a presentation board. It's used to pitch. It's supposed to look very presentable so you can share this and inspire people to join your project or use it for a Kickstarter campaign or something like that. But just so you know, you don't have to do something as sophisticated as this. A storyboard can be much simpler. This is an actual storyboard that I used to create the animation of the hunters. It was done in like 30 minutes, and it was only to visualize the action that was going to take place. That's it. So it doesn't matter if the animation is simple or not. If you don't want to depend on luck, a storyboard is a powerful tool that can take you a couple of minutes and save you a lot of headaches. This is an animation from a joke by Spike Milligan, and it's about two hunters. It's the storyboard you saw was for this animation. I'm gonna play it for you for those of you who haven't seen it.
One-on-one emergencies, how can I help?
We are in danger, and my friend is dead.
Okay, calm down, breathe. Okay, listen carefully. First, make sure he's actually dead.
Okay, now what?
That's dark, Mark. That's dark.
Dark humor.
Haven't seen that one before.
That joke was considered like the best joke of all time, I believe, in the year 2000. And I thought like, but yeah, it's dark humor. But yes, that was just a short joke made into an animation. And again, I saved myself a lot of headaches just by spending some minutes doing this storyboard, right? And I love this quote by John C. Maxwell. 1 minute of thinking is often more valuable than 1 hour of unplanned work. So let's say that you decided to invest a couple of minutes creating a storyboard. And what can you do with it? Well, here's a question. How can a storyboard help you create a better animation? Animating takes time. So before you invest hours animating, you can visualize the whole thing to see if you're going to like it or not, right? That is, you can see if you like the animation before you animate anything. So let's go into this. I'm going to show you now, once you have panels, how you can start visualizing the animation. One of the things is prepare the sound as if you were going to play it for a radio or a podcast, and then listen to the whole audio, like the rhythm and everything, and then you start putting the panels in there. I'm gonna show you how you can do that in Movavi. I'm gonna take just everything and delete it. And this is like the default setting. And now I'm going to go to the plan your animations folder right here. And the first thing is I'm going to import the audio. I just click and drag and put it there. Just like we did with the other one. This is the whole audio for the samurai animation. Right? Oh, very epic and everything. Now let me show you really quick in Movavi how to navigate. If you press Control and then you scroll in and scroll up and down with your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out. And if you're zoomed in, you can middle click and it can middle click and drag and it moves the what is it, the workspace back and forth, right? So with that, I'm now going to start adding the panels. Let me go back to here and I'm going to go to storyboard panels and add the first one. Just click and drag. Now, again, I want the freedom to move things around. So I'm going to enable gaps. This allows me to have this freedom, right? And now I'm going to play this and see, I'm not going to add the whole thing, just 4 panels so you can get the idea. I'm going to play it. Okay, in there, the character starts talking, sensei, sensei, which means master, master. Now I just, again, maybe I'm going too fast. Alt tab, or in Mac is Command tab, and then just click and drag the next image. That's it. Let me put them together like this.
Sensei, sensei, ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
And then we show the bad guy. So it's all that way. And then we show the bad guy right here. And then she reacts, right? And she reacts around there. So I just click and drag for her reaction and you get the idea, right? So with this, I can start getting the feeling of the animation, like the whole emotional journey that the audience is going to have, right? And in here, I can start getting excited or say, oh, you know what, it's kind of boring. We need something else, right? And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to skip all this process and open the whole animatic. I already prepared it for you. Double click. And it's going to ask me to save. No, I don't want to save it. And this is how the whole animatic looks like, right? It has all the sound and it has all these shots, right? Right? So all of this is visualized right here in the storyboard. Now, one of the things that we found out was that this shot was very boring. So we added more stuff, right? Right here on the storyboard. We didn't produce anything and we were modifying this animation on the storyboard. So now I'm going to show you when, let's say that you're about to start production. Now I want to visualize how everything is going to look like when we have the whole production. For that, I'm going to open this other file. Let me open it. It's going to ask me if I want to save it. Oh, no, it didn't ask me. Perfect. And actually, wait. Before I do that, let me show you how you can very easily import like the presentation board. And that is very simple. I just go to this folder and then I can add this, right? This, and I can do like, make it bigger, right? Let me just make it even bigger. So it covers the whole screen right there, right? And then, by the way, we have a free course. If you want to follow all of this in more detail, we have a free course that I'm going to post the link on the chat for any of you interested. And that course is this one, video editing for animation in Movavi. I go into more depth, and probably for some of you, when you try to open a Movavi project, because you're not in my computer, you're probably going to have some problems. So this lesson covers that, like how to open Movavi projects in other computers, right? So let me go back now and right here. And very easily, you can add all the panels right here, right? I just sync them and put one after the other. And this was one of the adjustments of having a close-up for the character talking. Instead of just holding this shot,
ごめんなさい
this added like more drama, like, oh, I'm sorry. So this, you just keep bringing them in. But the thing is, usually when you bring them in and you move that, you cannot move them very freely because they kind of go with the link below, right? Look, it's kind of attached to the track below. And if I delete this, it also deletes that. So if you want this to be independent, all you have to do is detach track, and now you can move things around freely, right? So let me undo all of that. And now I'm going to open again this just to show you how this looks. Oops, what happened? Oh, I need to close this and then just open it again because it's trying to open the same file. So this, by the way, this is a cool thing you can do. You can just click and drag into this Gizmo right here, and it opens that file, right? Drop files here. And with that, this is the finished animatic. Let me play it here. And that's it. So in here, one of the things that we do is after this, after visualizing, yeah, we're liking it. Now we start animating scene by scene in Cartoon Animator. I explain all of that in a lot of detail in the course I just mentioned. And now let's say that I took 1 week and animated everything. And then this is how it's going to look like in the project, right? Actually, no, let me just create a new, no, I have to close this. I'm gonna close it and then open just a new one just to show you. Oh no, I'm gonna open this one. There you go. So once you have all the clips, I'm going to go to animated clips right here. And these are the animations done in Cartoon Animator. I just had all the layers and started playing with the camera. In here, I can just click and drag, and I just put it in the very beginning. It kind of swaps the order of the tracks. I just reorder it really quick like this. And then in here, I just make sure that this is free and it's not attached to the track, right? Now in here, let me just go to here. I'm zooming in, control, and then just making sure that the length of the clip is the same length. And then I add the next shot right here. Probably like this, and then putting it here. And then I just add the next, I just click and drag and then Alt Tab or Command Tab on Mac and put it there. Then bring it here and here and so on and so forth, right? It's very easy. I'm just putting things on top of each other. And if I want, of course, I can just delete all of this. And I would like this to be muted because this is going to be too much sound. I need to mute this. So when I play it, ooh, look, now it has parallax. That was done in Cartoon Animator. Things were closer to the camera and things were farther away.
先生先生
And now the camera rotating, etc. So yeah, all of that was very easy to do. And now what I'm going to show you, well, the things that took time was like painting and everything. But once it was done, it was so refreshing and so rewarding. So now let me open how this looks when everything is animated. Is project file number 4. Save. And then I'm going to play it. And now you can see that it has all the animation, right? Let me let it load. There you go. And it's still loading. Loading all the clips. But the thing is, It's super easy. One of the things that you are, again, all of this is explained in the course, but it's just adding one clip on top of each other, and that's it. We just added a couple of fade outs. I'm going to go a little bit more into that. And again, all of that is covered in detail on the other one. For some reason, it's not loading. I'm gonna close it because it shouldn't take that much. Let me just bring this on. I don't know if there was like an error or something, or my computer is handling things poorly right now. No, computer, don't do this to me. Okay, I'm gonna close that and just open it again. Maybe that will help. All right. And here it is. It's well, in any case, it was just the animation playing, right? But actually, I do need this open. For some reason, is not opening anything. No. Okay, guys, my computer is kind of having and by the way, this is not like it seems slow and buggy. Someone commented. Actually, this is my computer. I should have restarted. Like, damn, I forgot to restart my computer before this. I have. So let me. Can I get like 2 minutes to just restart it and then I join back?
Yeah, if you guys want to ask me any questions while Mark just restarts his computer, we can probably cover a couple of the Q&A questions.
All
and
right,
then I
I'll
guess
be
we'll
back.
see you in a couple minutes.
Yes, in like
Sound
2
good?
minutes. Yeah.
Cool. Right on. Well, I'll put my camera on here again then. The sun is slowly going down. Oh, there's my funky hair with my, didn't realize my headset was all messed up. All right, so let's, that's unexpected. We'll get into the Q&A first here then. So if you guys have any questions, just throw those in and we'll wait for Mark to come back and continue with the demo there. Okay, first question here's from Daniel. It says, can you have two characters in CTA4 holding hands and walking? If you can, how? Yeah, you certainly can do that. No problem. You can have them walking forward, backward, sideways, however. It's basically just a matter of having them on different layers. If I open up my Cartoon Animator here, I can maybe, I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to show you the entire process before Mark comes on, but we can always continue on later on. I'm just going to load up my Cartoon Animator 4 here first, and then we'll, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know there's a Z-axis, which is kind of like the depth axis in the 2D program. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Yeah, basically having the characters hold hands is just, I guess I should probably share my screen. Shoot, but up. Share. Let's just share without the sound. I'm not sure what my sound was doing last time. Okay, cool. So hopefully y'all can see my screen here. Let's throw a couple of G360 characters in there, just your basic ones. Let's have Martha. And who's the other guy? Who's the lucky guy that gets to hold Martha's hand? Philip. He's next in line. Yeah, so I mean, the easiest way just to make their hands connect, you can see already at first their hands are just kind of separate here. What I'd probably want to do is I'd probably want to change Philip's sprite. What I'm going to do is, if you want them walking hand in hand, it's just really a matter of applying like an animation to them. Let's see, Turner's front. Is there a walk here? There should be a walk. Nope. This one. Talk. Okay, walk. Although they're walking against the wall. Not sure if there's anything with walking forward. I haven't gone through these in a while. Move. There should be a walk here for sure. If not, there's a run. Maybe we can have them running together. Oh, there's a walk. Okay. All right. He's He looks like he's walking, not very enthusiastically, but we can probably change that. Anyways, let's press F3, go into our timeline, and in Philip's motion track, let's just loop that walk a few times. Maybe even make it a bit slower. It seems pretty fast, I think. Yeah, he's walking a little too fast for me. So if you want to toggle between loop and speed, you can click on speed here. There we go. Then we can have him walk slower. That's more of a romantic walking speed. All right, let's loop that. Let's toggle this loop on. You can also use Alt-L. Toggle that a few times. All right, we can do the same thing for Martha. Give her a walk. So now they're both walking it together. Maybe we can have them walking at different speeds here. Martha, oh, I applied her a little bit later on, but that's okay. Let's have her taking smaller steps. She seems a bit smaller. Ba-da-ba-ba. All right, so what we want to do here first is, I'll just go to this frame here. I want to have Martha's hand and Philip's hand connected to each other. So what I'd do is I would just take Martha and I would go over here to the, let's see, the 3D motion or 2D motion key editor. We're using 2D software now. Frame 1 here, and just take her hand and move her hand over. There we go. And then you too, Philip. Take his hand and move his hand over. And of course, I would probably change the sprites in this case. But once that's done, then we need to make sure that their hands kind of stay in that position. So what I would do is I would just reset right click on the clip here, and I would remove motion, and I would remove motion from Philip's right arm. Where's the right arm? There we go. Right arm, forearm, and hand. There you go. Remove. And then we have to take it back into the position there. Oh, it looks like Mark is back.
Yeah,
Are you back, Mark?
actually,
Everything good?
yes, everything good. But I'm watching this because I saw the question and I was like, actually, I have no idea, but I'm.
Oh yeah. Well, just basically taking these two lovebirds and removing the motion from their respective hands. Let's remove Martha. I think that's her left hand, I hope. Just like that. And then I guess for some reason it pops out like that, so I have to take her back. And this should be the solution right here. And if it isn't, then you need to make some, there you go. Yeah, they walk a little bit too much. Or sorry, they kind of tilt a little bit too much from one side to the next. So with Cartoon Animator 4, we don't really have reach targets, but you would have to kind of manually, like at this frame, for example, over here, just to adjust the position. Sorry, what was that?
I mean, just moving the hands individually so they stay together, right? Animating.
Yeah,
them.
it's at certain frames you'd have to do that. So I mean, that's the starting point to keep their arms kind of straight and relatively in the same position. If you're using like our 3D program iClone, you have a reach target where you can kind of connect the hands together really easily. But that's not integrated into Cartoon Animator yet. But,
Yet,
yeah,
magical word.
Yet, exactly. It's coming next version here. So, yeah, I guess I'll let you continue there, Mark. Is everything cool on your end now, or?
Yes, it's because I didn't refresh the. It has been on since 4 a.m. and not restarted. So
yeah, okay.
Poor computer was sweating, guys. It was sweating. Oh, don't worry, computer. I'm sorry. After this, you can rest.
But not
cool.
right now.
So you're all good to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just.
Are you gonna continue?
You have permission to share?
Yes. There you go.
Cool. Yeah.
Now,
Let's see it.
Perfect. So now I went ahead and opened this. And this is the animation, right? Of course, it's muted. And this is basically what we're looking for, right? To have this whole animation. Now, these are a couple of transitions, right? So fade out, fade in. And so I want to cover a couple of things that you can do with Movavi. You can add some effects if you want to get a little bit creative. So for that, for any of you who want to follow along, you can do this. Let me get the project files, and I'm going to open the hunter's joke right here. And now what I'm going to do is start adding a couple of effects to some of the shots. Now, right now, I have the only one clip, right? But of course, this one has multiple clips. It has multiple cuts. Right now, that's one shot, and I'm going to click and drag. And this is another shot, right? So there's around there that I should cut, right? And then this is another shot. So I can do and manually do that, right? And take like forever. Or I can have everything separated in clips with 3 clicks. 3. This is one. You just right click. That's number 1. Then you click on detect scenes. That's number 2. And then number 3, detect scenes. Look how fast that was. It took me like 5 seconds to do those 3 clicks. Really is, even with the explanation, and now it's separated. Look. So if I wanted to go, for example, to this shot, and I wanted to start adding some effects, I can go to the top here, not the very top, but the one that says filters, and then I can preview some of these effects. For example, I can click on broken lens, and this is how it's going to look like, right? So I can click and drag into the workspace, and now this clip has that effect. Let me play it for you. You see? This one is also muted. Let me just show this. Right? So that's one thing. Now, if I wanted to edit that effect or remove it, I can click on this little star, and in there I can see the broken lens. And of course, I can click and drag and exaggerate the effect. Now it's not going to destabilize a little bit. It's going to be a lot. Look, you can see it's a lot, right? So you can change the properties of the effects, or you can remove them by clicking on the little X right there. Now I go back to effects. Let's try another one. I can add, for example, camera shake. I click there to see how it's going to look like. And then, yeah, I like it. Then I click and drag. And now this one has camera shake. Look. To give the sense of being handheld, right? Like documentary stuff. I'm going to press Ctrl Z to remove the effect. Of course, again, let me redo. You can also click on the little star and then there. But it's faster because I just added it. I can just press Ctrl Z. Now, this one is also cool. In here, apparently nothing is happening, but when you add it, it actually has movement, and it looks like you're looking through a window, right? So pretty interesting deformation right there. Let me undo. And so you can add a lot of them, right? I like this, like the old movie, right? With as if it was an old movie, and I can add it there, and so on and so forth. So you can get creative. And also, if you want, you can also add really interesting designs in here. Like, for example, I could add it like this, right? And it has even little animation for you. I could use this one, right? And so right there, you can pick anything. And if I wanted to edit it, I can just double click and then to the animation 101 presents right there. And that's it. Look, right? Right? So it's pretty cool for trailers or something. And it comes with the whole animation and everything. So it's pretty cool. Now, this is, if you take a look at this, these are original characters that we created for this animation. Now, what if you wanted to do your own characters? Well, this is pretty cool because you can speed up character creation. I want to show you now how to do original characters in Cartoon Animator. And this is very important. The method I'm going to show you is for speed character creation, but it only works in Cartoon Animator pipeline, the pipeline version, because you need to be jumping between Cartoon Animator and a PSD editor. I'm gonna be using Photoshop, but it also works with Clip Studio Paint or Affinity or any software that opens PSD. Also Krita. Okay, so I'm going to show, let me go to Photoshop. I'm going to share right here. And this is an original character of myself. Like, this is my avatar, Mark, right? Yay! And this guy is going to be dancing, right? Actually, in a video, we created this. And this, maybe you think, oh yeah, but you had to be creative, like, yeah, create the arms and then the hands and then the feet. And not only that, but the hands have multiple versions. Look at all the sprites. So wait, I have to create all of that? Well, here's the thing. If you're smart, this is where Cartoon Animator really shines. Because look, I'm gonna show you how we created that very, very fast. All we did was, okay, go to actor. And in this case, I have the social bodies, but that also, what I'm going to show you also applies with the default characters that come in here, right? So I'm going to go to social bodies and then pick Harry here. And then you can pick any other character, right? I can take this character, go to composer mode, and then click on open on PSD. In here, you can have linked Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint or whatever. In my case, I have Photoshop. So I'm going to just click there and then launch. And now look at that. This suspiciously looks very much alike. Don't you think? Look. Hey, let's go all Sherlock Holmes on this. Is the same character. Wait a minute. Yes, this is where Cartoon Animator really shines, because I basically created a whole new character from this one, and I didn't have to go through animating, like creating all the sprites for all the hands. No, everything came with the package. And look, even the hair, I just removed the hair, and basically that's basically me. I just needed to add the beard. I changed the nose a little bit, the eyebrows. I just changed a couple of aspects, but even the ears are on the same place. The head shape is the same. So you just recognize that maybe it's Mark because he's bald and it has a beard like this guy. Hey. So this is very, very cool. All of you can do this. And instead of investing like, trying all the hands and everything and spend like 2 days, it was like 10 minutes probably just customizing only the face, right? And it's really cool. Now, this was used to create an animation, right? This is how you can create original characters really fast. You can get any other character that looks like something you would like, and then just go in and change it. That's why I always recommend the pipeline version. You cannot do this in the pro version. So really, this is why this is a time saver, right? Now, let me show you an animation. I'm gonna go back to, first I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and then share the presentation. Alrighty. So let's say that you decided to, like, you have everything. You create an animation with an original character, and this is the an animation that I created, right? Really easy. And it was following those steps, right? Of just me, like I explained in the last webinar, that I just use my references and that's it. And now, what if I recently created this animation, and let's say that I have an old animation that I posted some time ago, right? And this is where the new feature from Cartoon Animator is really cool, because look, so far I have covered everything except the last point, exporting transparent video from Cartoon Animator 4. And this is pretty cool. I'm going to show you a practical way to use it. There are more ways to use it. I'm going to show you just one. And that is, let's say that I have this animation that I did some years ago and I lost the file. That sometimes happens, right? Like, where did I left the Cartoon Animator 4 file or something? And it's this animation. And then I realized, like, maybe I want to use it again and put myself in there. Can I do that? The answer is yes, very easily. Let's say that I want to combine that one with this one, right? How can I do that? Well, I'm gonna show you right now how to do that. It's so simple. If you want to follow along, you can open, let me just go to this screen. You can open this project file. I'm going to go back to transparent video and I'm going to open this file, right? And this is Mark dancing. It's opening, and this is very simple. You just have the background and that character dancing. Now, what I can do is that I can hide everything and just leave the character Mark dancing. And then I can go to this button right here to render. Just click there. You can also go to render and then render video, but it's faster to just click that button right there. And then select MOV, right? This is the new feature. You can now render to MOV and render as transparent video. I click export. Actually, let me make sure, let me make sure it's HD. Yes. And then I'm going to export it. And then I'm going to export here. Okay. Mark transparent. And it's rendering. And just like that, while it's rendering, I'm going to explain what I want to do. That is going to give me is a file where it's Mark dancing and nothing else. It's going to be transparent. So I can get the other clip, put it on Movavi, and then have Mark that is going to be single without any no background, no anything. And I can move it around floating, and I'm going to put it at the center, right? That's basically it, just taking like 2 layers, right? But one is the video and another is a video with transparent background. And you can do that with live footage. I did that actually for the demo of Cartoon Animator when I do this, and then I put the character dancing here. Now you know how you can do that, right? You're gonna learn how it, okay, it finished doing the render. I'm not gonna open it. Instead, I'm gonna go to Movavi, delete everything, and then just bring this. This is the characters dancing right here. And this is the footage, right? This can be live footage, by the way, or it can be anything you want. In this case, it's this animation. And I want to add myself. This is Mark transparent. Look, I click and drag. And now this, it looks black, right? And then I can put it here. And then, yeah, but this looks weird. It looks like he's too big or something. So what I can do is click on this layer. And then on more tools, I go to where it says overlay. And I don't have to select anything here. I can just, once I click on overlay, it gives me controls on the view panel. Look, I can make it a little bit smaller and then position it wherever I want. I want this character to be like a little bit in front of them. And that's it. Look, now we have a pretty cool animation. And the power is that this is an actual video that has transparent background. That's how powerful this is. And you can put live footage or anything because this is an editing feature, right? So yeah, and that's it. That's it for this webinar. Hopefully you like it, guys. And now we are ready for some Q&A. We can continue with Q&A.
Right on. I'm back.
Yay.
Every time I come back, my hair's in a different. This is the first
I
time I've
know
used
the same.
these headphones, and they're
The
just
same
really
happens
annoying.
to me.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Sheesh.
All the time.
There you go. There you go.
All right, thanks so much for that, Mark. Hopefully you guys learned a lot about Movavi and kind of just, you know, how you can incorporate Cartoon Animator stuff into Movavi and vice versa, and how you can put together a cool project like the stuff that Mark's been showing us. Hopefully your jokes aren't that morbid, but I'm kidding. All right. Well, let's go into our Q&A then. We're good to go. Okay. So Daniel, like I mentioned with the characters holding hands thing there, it has to kind of be manually fixed at that
Adjust.
point. Yeah, manually adjusted just because we don't have that reach target feature yet. That's going to be in the next version. There's a lot of tools. If you're familiar with our 3D tools, iClone, our 3D animation tool iClone, there's a lot of tools available in that we're going to be incorporating into our 2D software for sure in the next version. So if you want to get kind of a preview of what's coming next, you can get more familiar with the 3D software. Okay, Peter says, "G'day, Mark." I assume he's from
Thank you.
Australia. G'day, mate. All right. Question from Brad Fields. How do you do a scene where like someone goes flying in the air and not do that in real life? Oh, I think he's talking about your video references. So how do you do a scene where someone goes flying through the air but not in real life? Because I guess you probably wouldn't have a video reference for that, right? Unless you have.
Yes, so because I cannot do backflips. Actually, I can, but I didn't want to impress anyone. So
You're not
what
Superman either.
what I did was that I just in editing, it was editing. I just did a cut of like pretending to be doing the backflip because I can do that, like, meh, and then I cut to someone professionally doing it without breaking their neck, right?
You're
And
stunt double.
yeah, so I just went to YouTube and find a reference of someone from the side view doing a backflip, hopefully in slow motion. And the slow mo guys, those guys have amazing footage, and I was like, yes, thank you, slow mo guys. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
slow-mo guys are pretty good for that stuff. You know, animation references for all kinds of wacky scenarios.
yes. Yeah.
Or, you know, Brad, you could just hire a stunt man that's fine with being shot out of a cannon. Give that a shot and record it. Anyways, okay, we'll go to the next one. How long does it take to draw storyboards? You want to take that one first, Mark? I have
Yes.
some input on that later.
Here's my answer to you. Okay, you can start a chronometer. Let's say that this is what I have in my mind. Actually, we're working on a project. We cannot talk about it yet, but it's a project for an animation series that we want to pitch to Netflix, and we're doing the storyboards, and we're doing it really fast because we want to visualize. And so let's say that this is the panel, and I want an over-the-shoulder map, over the shoulder of a character pointing a gun to another guy, right? So I'm going to put my chronometer right now. Okay, so this is the guy, and it has like the gun right here pointing there, and then here's the other guy frightened. Oh. Right there. Okay, how much? 12 seconds. That's all you need. So to do a storyboard, you don't need to create something amazing. This is all you need, right? Some storyboards that we have used professionally in movies were like this, like the director cannot draw, but he's good at visualizing, and he would do storyboards like this, right? Just like stickman figures. But I do recommend having a little bit of flesh, just so you can know a little bit of the how they are turning, or explain with text like this is the back, right? But how much does it take? Well, took me 12 seconds, and let's say that the sequence that we're visualizing is like 20 panels. Just multiply it 20 by 12, and it's not that much. And most importantly, it's so fun that you lose track of time if you don't feel it. It's very fun.
Storyboarding?
Yeah, storyboarding. It's just visualizing and then saying, "Boo!" I use special effects with my because I get more excited.
Like the old school Batman.
Yeah. So yeah, and that helps.
Yeah, I think just like what Mark said, storyboarding is super easy if you want to just do quick sketches like that. There's also a lot of other software out there. I mean, you don't need to purchase any software. I haven't used storyboarding software for a long time.
Actually, there's a software that the one that we use is free. Is Storyboarder. I can,
Storyboarder.
yeah, I can give the link on the chat.
Yeah, throw in the
But
chat
yeah,
window. That'd be helpful for some people. It sounds familiar. I just Googled it quickly on my phone here. I can find
Storyboarder.
there's a bunch of top 10 lists and stuff.
Wonder
obviously.
Fruit. This one.
Wonder
I'm
Fruit?
gonna share my screen really quick. This one. It's free and it also allows you to visualize things in 3D. You can have 3D elements. Let me see if in here it shows a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty cool, right? And they have a lot of I believe they look, it was there. I just skipped it. There, like you can set up also 3D models and move them around. So this is
Very
pretty
cool.
cool. And it's
Yeah,
free.
that's
I'm gonna put the link on the chat. Hopefully it helps.
Storyboard.
Oh
I gotta
wait,
remember
I'm
that.
not putting it for everyone. There it is for everyone. And maybe this link can also be added to the description, right? For people who watch the replay of this. Right?
Yeah, I think we should probably add this to the description, YouTube description, if we can. That's a seems like a good software, and it's free, right?
Yeah, free is the one that we use.
Can't complain. Carlos asks, what is used for the drawing?
What did we for what?
I'm not sure.
Carlos,
maybe-
can you type on the chat a little bit more specific, like for the drawings you saw on the one of the projects that you saw that I presented, or like in general? Because in general you can use Krita. For example, Krita is free and it's pretty cool. It's a PSD editor. PSD editor. Also
I've actually never
Photopea.
used that one. Yeah, Photopea I've used. Yeah.
Photopea is very similar to Photoshop, right? But it's free.
Yeah.
So both of them are really cool.
GIMP is also another one that's been
GIMP.
around for a while.
I actually saw a question about that also, GIMP. I haven't used this one, but I know people who have done even animation. And Krita also does animation, so interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I've never tried Krita. I'll have to check that out. So yeah, maybe Carlos, if you can kind of elaborate a bit on that, we can answer a bit more detail.
Apparently Carlos went offline. Oh, when you see this replay, Carlos, this is Mark from the past. Hello, hey.
All right, we'll go to the next one then from Helene. Can you add all the storyboard panels to the timeline at once and then just move them around instead of dragging and dropping each time? That's Movavi.
I believe so. I think so. I don't recommend it. You can test it, right? This is what I usually tell people, like, don't take my word for it. Test it, right? But I recommend it's better to be bringing one by one, because you add them it's faster. Actually, I would challenge you to, okay, do both. Let me just add, for example, these 4 images. I can just click and drag and it brings everything, but and yes, you can move them, but it's faster for the timing to be adding one by one. It gets a little bit messy, right? In here, in whatever editing software, it gets a little bit messy, but you have to test it for yourself. Maybe that works for you, but yeah, you can just select all of them, click and drag, and
I was going to say that actually works for me. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to those things. Just throw it all in there and deal with it later. Yeah, if you, maybe it's a bit messy, but yeah. So Helene, whatever your preference is, want to be clean and organized like Mark, or just like throw everything in like me?
And then
like big sack of frames. Just get in there. All right. Brad asked, how do you color storyboards? I mean, you don't necessarily even have to color storyboards. I've seen some more detailed colored storyboards, but I mean, the point of having storyboards is just to have a quick sketch, really.
Yes. The storyboards, the purpose of a storyboard is to think visually. That's it. think visually. It's like you're playing the scenes in your head, but no one else can see it, right? So you can, oh, but there, can you read my mind? Do you think it's cool? Like people are gonna go like, we cannot read minds. Maybe if technology upgrades and we maybe at that time we won't need storyboards, but because people cannot read your mind, you need to think visually so other people can see it. You don't have to paint it. Now, if your question is like to present it to and do a pitch or something, then the question is now is not how can I paint storyboards. I'm giving you the direction to search on Google and do the research yourself, is how to paint in general, like how to do an illustration. If you can do an illustration and you're really good at painting, then that illustration becomes the panel of the storyboard, and that's it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like you can whip up a picture really fast with color, go for it.
Yeah.
Anonymous attendee asks what version of Movavi is being used.
This one, I just updated. So let me see. It's version 21.4.
21.4. Holy cow. That's a lot of versions.
Yeah. You're like, wow, Cartoon Animator is on the 4th.
Yeah, we're at like 4, so imagine how cool we'll be at level 21. Have like every tool available. Maybe even the mind stuff you were talking about.
By that time, maybe. Hey.
Yeah, I'll be moving to Mars at that point. I don't want to read people's minds. That'd be too much trouble.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one then. Brad, what is used to generate the pictures that are used in the video?
Which pictures? Okay.
I would assume the storyboard ones, maybe. Unless Brad, you want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, Brad, if you can elaborate. I don't know if you're talking about backgrounds or if you're talking about specific panels. So Brad, if you can drop on the chat, be a bit more specific, like what images?
Cool. I'll wait for Brad on that, and then we'll go to the next the next one's from another Brad to make it more confusing. How do you make a character? Well, there's a lot of tutorials, Brad, and what I would probably recommend is we have a number of character creation. Mark, do you talk about character creation much in your
we do have an advanced course where I do a rig of a crab, right? But you can rig anything. You just have to use your imagination, like what do I want to control, and then just add bones to that thing that you want to control. So I added like it was like a crab kind of, and it's complicated because it has 6 legs, etc. So but it's actually to learn that I learned from the actual tutorials in Cartoon Animator. So if the team can post a link to the tutorials, and it's pretty easy to get there.
Yeah, I'll just share my
It's
screen
Freebone.
really quick for those of you
Freebone,
who
what
don't
you're
really...
looking for.
Yeah, there's Freebone actors. There's all types of different actors. So I'll share the learning page here. You guys can find it. Okay, so from the main Reallusion page, let me just get this chat window out of the way here. Just go up to products. Obviously, we're talking about Cartoon Animator, and every product page will have a learn item at the top. And if you open that, you can see tutorials, online manuals. There's the 12 principles from Mark there.
Woo.
And woo, yeah. And so if you go into tutorials, there's a whole bunch. A lot of them are done by me. There's some done by other, special creators and third parties. But for character creation, you can just go to like function, and you can see here 2D character creation, different types of characters. You can find basically all you need in these separate videos here.
Yeah, actually, right there, do you see the tutorial of like the scarecrow kind of? It was like kind of. Can you go a little bit
this
up?
one up here.
That one. Like for
Simple
example,
free-flowing character. Yeah.
very simple. With that, it can be any creature, right? And the one that helped me is the intro to the creating a multi-sprite free bone character of the mummy, right?
Oh yeah,
that
right down here. Yeah.
that one was the one that helped me. Like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, this one's pretty detailed about masking and stuff. And this is if you have like a really custom angled character. Yeah, this is a great one for that because it talks
And
about masking as well.
especially if you have the pro version, because when I do those type of characters, I put everything together in a PSD, and then in pipeline I just bring it in. But if I didn't have that, I would use the pro version using this method.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I think this one uses the pro version for sure because it just takes one single image and then you mask out and create different parts. Okay, well, let's go to the next one. There's a lot of stuff you can watch. There are a lot of videos. Let's go to the next one here then with Murty. Does the pipeline work with GIMP? Yep. The pipeline version of Cartoon Animator works with any PSD software. So you can use GIMP for free as long as it supports PSD. Next question from an anonymous attendee. Do these characters come with the purchase of pipeline version, or are they part of some content packs? There's a number of different characters that come with the software, and there's some other ones that are purchased with content packs. Now,
The ones that I showed, the social buddies, that's an
yeah, that's
extra
a
pack.
content pack. Yeah,
But
that's a special content pack.
yep, there's a lot of them in there that are like the ones you see, Martha and Philip. Those are really cool characters, and they come with the software.
Yeah, there's a few embedded. I'm not even going to go through here because I can't actually even remember which ones come with this software. There's so many different characters that I've downloaded over the years. Yeah, but there's a good selection of characters that come with the software. Next one's from anonymous attendee. I think this is pretty much the same question. Do these characters come with the purchase of the pipeline version or the content pack? Yeah, so we talked about that. The social characters you used are in a content pack. I'm not sure where that content pack is. It's not this one, right?
Social buddies. Yeah.
So this is the motions. So this one includes like 60 motions and 20 perform motions. The social characters, if you're in the content store, you can probably just go to Cartoon Animator. They're probably one of the top ones.
Let me see.
Ooh, must have.
I just
You can just type social maybe. So if this works. Yeah, here you go. Oh, there's the motions. Yeah, here you go. Here's the social buddies pack right here. So this includes the actual characters. Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
And then there's vector buddies, which is pretty similar as well. I think the social buddies one actually includes some animations in the pack. Oh, this one actually includes some
social and
emotions.
emotions.
And some motions. Yeah. So it includes the vector buddies and the social and emoticons. So this one is actually a combination of 2 packs. And the original is vector buddies right here. Cool. Yeah, you can just browse the content store on your own time. I don't want to spend too much time there. Let's see, Joe. What is the purpose of the free transparent MOV samplers created with CTA5? Can you import them directly into CTA5? Yep, you can. Joe says I keep getting errors when I try it, or do you add them into Movavi and work with them there? They should, if they're MOV samplers, we do allow MOV import, but they are for use in Movavi for sure.
Let me, I can do a test right now.
Yeah, you have them all downloaded and everything, I guess. It's weird that they're not, they should be, if your Cartoon Animator is updated, should be no problem.
Yeah, I, just so you know, I do have the update. So probably, let me see. No, it's not here. It's the one with transparent mode. And then I'm going to add it as a prop. And then without problems. Oh, but it's not importing with the transparent. Let me see. Let me just make sure that this is the actual one in Movavi. This is the one that it has transparency. Yeah, actually it has transparency, but when I just tried to import it as a prop, it imported like this.
Imports like that, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there's something for our development team to take a look at.
Okay. Thank you
Thanks
for
for catching
raising
that,
that question, Joe. That's
Yeah, because that should
helpful.
definitely be imported as a transparent. And it could
Nice.
be codec issues or whatever. There's all kinds of things, but it's most likely something.
Also, if someone can test it on a Mac, but because Mac has that Movies natural for Mac, so probably someone can test it and then let us know. But at least on Windows, I have Windows.
Yeah,
so yeah,
me
Joe,
too.
thank you
That's
so much,
strange,
Joe. That's what I love about this is that we get to learn how to improve Cartoon Animator 4. So
yeah, catching little issues like that on the fly. That's good. Thanks, Joe.
beautiful. Thank you.
Let's go to the next one then. Anyways, from Dimas. How did you paint the Samurai storyboard into color? Did you use CA4 or PS?
For the answer is Photoshop, and I only painted the characters. I hired another artist to do the backgrounds while I was doing the characters. And personally, I'm still learning to paint backgrounds like that. If I try it, I can get something close, but not like that. That like above my pay grade. So I hired someone else to do that for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you look at the typical, credits of a movie production, you'll have like background artist A, B, C, D, F, E, F, whatever, and all sorts of different artists that are focused on different areas. So
yeah, and the painting is again, you to find tutorials or any of that, go to YouTube and then search for tutorial on painting or digital painting or character design, right? And then you're gonna find tutorials on that.
Yeah, some of those actually make me a little bit discouraged because they're just so good. I'll never
That's
be that
also if you can find for beginners, because sometimes it's like, oh, you just do the they are amazing.
Yeah, this guy's like, it's easy, guys. 5 minutes later, he has this like Mona Lisa painting. Whoa. Anyways, yeah, everyone's skilled at different things. Let's go to the next one from Tina. How do you incorporate your storyboard into the video suite?
That was actually answered during the webinar, and it's just click and drag. That's it. If you want more details, Tina, you can go to the free course that I can give you the link here, the free course. And in there, I go into way more detail. I go very slow. In here, I was like covering as much as I can in 1 hour, right?
Cool. Yeah. So that answers your question there, Tina. You can learn more from going there. Question from Wolf. Cool name. When I try to render transparent video, I get the message, Movavi Video is not the default supported format on Windows. What should I do?
I also get, actually during the webinar, I also got that. I was like, okay. It's just letting you know that on Mac, you don't get that, but it's not the default support format. Just click OK and it renders. It actually happened to me during the webinar, but I didn't pay attention. So Wolf, thank you so much for raising it. I probably should have gone a little bit slower. Is you just OK and that's it, and it does it.
Yeah, hopefully that works for you, Wolf. Yeah, there is sometimes just like some odd message that pops up, and
but it's good to know. Like it's not the default, but it's like maybe letting us know, like if you want to use it in another place, maybe you're gonna have problems in Windows. But in this case, it doesn't. It works well.
Okay, cool. So Brad is kind of elaborating on his previous question. Pictures of the people in the animation you showed. Did you at least 3 people? Yeah.
Okay.
There's the other Brad that's like, I don't remember asking that. There's 2 Brads, just to clarify.
So that is for the animation of the samurais, I believe, then, or the hunters. Then the images of the people, of the characters, again, is just character design, right? And actually, the character design of the samurais was done by another artist that is, she helped us as an instructor in our school, and she's a professional character designer. and she did those. And I just did refining of the line art and the coloring. Yeah.
Cool. Question from Tina. She has a question about Movavi Suites. I'm not really familiar with this, but I had Suite 2020 and purchased Suite 2021. I still have both on my desktop. Can I remove the Video Suite 2020 from my computer without affecting 2021?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't like there are no structure features that, oh, if I remove this then I don't. No, actually Suite 2021 comes with everything, so yeah, you can remove it with no.
Cool. All right.
No problem.
Deborah, is there a way to manually import into Photoshop if you only have the Pro version? Yeah, there is technically. So she only has the Pro version, not the pipeline version.
Yeah, I actually, when you have it like that, you just take a little bit of a longer process. The steps, again, the steps are explained by, I think it was Yukai on the tutorials, explaining how to bring a character one by one. You can find the tutorial. It's done on Crazy Talk Animator 3, but it's the same exact workflow on Cartoon Animator 4. The only thing is that in the pipeline, you just import the Photoshop file and that's it. But if you are rigging for the Pro version, you just need to export each layer. You export the arm, the forearm, all the hands, and that's it. And then you rig everything manually in the Pro version. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can do the same thing. It just takes a lot longer. It's the convenience of the pipeline version, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. Question from Joe again. Is there a G3 Freebone tutorial for characters using the template with 5 fingers on each hand?
Like for the new update.
Yeah, the new bone hands, yeah. You can just throw those hands on to your character, your free bone character. Shouldn't be a problem. I believe so. You just have to assign a certain bone as a hand.
Let me try to find the tutorial so I can post it there, Joe.
You're talking about the free bone actor tutorial?
For the hands. I don't know if you're talking about the template with 5 fingers, like for that can be used on the motion capture, etc. Probably.
I think so.
Let's see, function, animation, hand animation. Yeah, like I'm gonna share my screen. If you go to the tutorials, right, Revolution, and then you go to Cartoon Animator 4 and learn tutorials, you go to where it says function and then go to 2D animation and then hand animation. In there, these 2 videos explain what you're asking, like intro to hand bones and then the fingers, like all the animation, right?
Interesting. I just tested it out myself. It seems like saying here that you cannot apply hand bone templates to non-human characters. So that could be a challenge. I'd have to mess around with it a bit more, but yeah, you may have to start off with a human character template and just edit it from there. There's probably a workaround. Yeah, I don't want to mess around too much right now, though. Not prepared for that kind of thing. Let's go to the next one from Walter. De Brito Cunha. Although I have been studying a lot, I'm still confused with the different kinds of character bases, G2, G3, elastic, etc., and the 360 possibilities. Should you plan a deep webinar about it? Yeah, I think that's a good question, because we do have different versions of characters that have all been released with different versions of Cartoon Animator. So we do have like G2 characters, which are, quite older, but they have different capabilities. G3 characters and G3 360 characters. So I understand how that can be a bit confusing. There are tutorials that kind of detail the different character types. Yes, I know there's one specific one.
I did one some time ago explaining a little bit about them. So I'm posting there in the chat, Walter, if you want to check it out. It's a tutorial talking exactly about G2, and it's like a 5-minute video, right? So you can check it out.
Cool. There's a few in the getting started section of the learn tutorial section I mentioned as well here. There's plenty of tutorials. If there's something we have a lot of, it's tutorials. Okay, next question then. Yeah, so that's we could consider doing a webinar like that in the future, I think. Katura, if you were to buy a puppet actor, are the facial bones for expression animations included, or do I have to buy them separately? That's all included, Katura. If you buy a puppet actor, you just have to make sure that your character has, you know, the facial animation capabilities that you're purchasing. So when you purchase from the content store, for example, just ensure that because I mean we don't really use facial bones. It's more like facial sprites. So yeah, if you have this icon right here, G3360 head, face, actor, these icons. Am I sharing my screen?
No, not
Oh,
yet.
okay.
But I'm imagining it. Now you can
Yeah,
share it
okay.
for everybody else to see too.
Sharing is caring.
There you
All
go.
right, here we are.
That's exactly what I was imagining.
Yeah, so the vector, if you go to like a page like this where it says vector buddies, any page really that's selling the characters, you'll have these icons at the bottom. But again, you can always just add as many icons or, you know, sprites as you want, as many layers as you want. I mean, your character has like 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, and that's where you add the sprites on. Let's see your Q&A. Yeah, so generally every single character that we sell will have that Katura.
Awesome.
Cheryl says, "Good day, Mark."
Good day.
Like you have a lot
Actually,
of fans in Australia, Mark. What's going on there?
good day, Cheryl. Cheryl.
Okay, I think I mentioned that Walter's previous question. Oh, okay. So I get some high praise from Cheryl. You can read the Q&A too, right?
Yes, this one, because all the previous one I couldn't read it, but this one it's live for me too. So thank you so much, Cheryl. You're saying you're so generous of spirit. I just logged into the course from this video and I have done all your free courses and some paid ones. You provide so much information for free. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I welcome you from the bottom of my heart too. So we're both saying things from the bottom of our hearts.
Thanks for that, Cheryl. We really appreciate all that positive feedback. Yeah, and Mark definitely does, you know, offer tons and tons of free stuff, and very, very passionate teacher for sure.
Yeah.
Katura asks, can we use AutoRig in Blender and import that rig? No, AutoRig for Blender is only for our 3D software, Katura. Sorry about that. Blender to 2D pipeline might be something we'll work on in the future. Next question from Deborah. Does the pipeline version work with older Photoshop versions like CS4? Yep, should work fine. I don't see why not. Katura, if it's a character I've created, I've tried to use my own designs and I struggle for character creation.
If it's a character I've created, I've tried to use my own designs and I struggle. Okay, Katura, I don't know if you're expressing a situation or if you're asking a question. I don't see a question there. So if you could type it, like, what did you need help with? Like how to not struggle when you design your own characters? Like,
yeah, but possibly. I think that, you know, creating the characters is not an easy task at any times. Character rigging she mentions here.
What I would recommend to you, Katura, would be to get the pipeline version and do what I did. Like, it's really fast to just get a character, open it on a PSD editor, customize it, and then you go back and it's your own customization of that character.
Yeah, there's tutorials on it. I would recommend checking those out for sure. I know it's not easy from the bottom up to just create a brand new character. But once you have that brand new character, you can use it in all sorts of stuff. And it's fully compatible with all the tools. Okay, so a question from Manuel. I've noticed some of the animation examples have shadowing. What is that done in? Is it, if it's AE After Effects, Can another program like HitFilm do the same? You're
The
familiar with that, yeah, Mark?
Yes, yes, it was done in After Effects, and yes, it can be done in HitFilm Pro. I'm not familiar with HitFilm Pro, but if it can do what After Effects does, then yes. The only thing is that for After Effects, there's this plugin that exports into After Effects. For HitFilm Pro, you can do what I did before that plugin was there, right? Just export everything, export the characters, export the backgrounds, export everything from Cartoon Animator. And now it's easier with transparent backgrounds. And then you just put them all together in HitFilm Pro and then just add those effects to each separate layer. And in there in After Effects, you also have to do the movement of the camera, right? So yeah.
Yeah, HitFilm Pro can do its own shadowing for sure. I'm more familiar with that than the 2D software myself. So cool. Yeah. And After Effects obviously quite easy to do that.
Sorry. You're welcome.
Question.
Thank you. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Just kind of canceled that. Another person saying thanks to Mark. Question from Adrian. Pipeline works with Affinity Photo and Designer. Yes.
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 Yeah, they can open PSD. But actually, I was struggling with that, and I got help from the staff and Revolution. So let me show you really quick. I'm going to open Affinity, so you don't you don't struggle like I was struggling. Let me open Affinity Photo. I'm gonna share my screen really quick. It's gonna.
Yep, go for it.
Stop sharing that one. And here is Affinity. For now. So in Affinity, when you're opening PSD, you're gonna struggle a little bit. Just make sure that you go to Edit and then Preferences, and then in here go to General, and then make sure that you have this checked. Enable Save over imported PSD files, because without this, you open something that is linked to Cartoon Animator, and then you save it, but it saves as Affinity, and then it breaks the link. So just having this on saves you from that problem, right? By default, it's off, so you have to enable it, and that's it. Very simple.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a very good tip.
Because
for sure,
I was struggling.
That could be really frustrating.
Yes, like you told me it would work. It doesn't. It's just a little checkbox.
Yeah, one of those little check boxes in preference that causes you hours of pain. Oh, I've been there before. Okay, so Couture is mentioning about the rig again. I think Couture, you can always just check out our forums at forum.realism.com, or you can email one of us as well, and we can probably take a look into more detail, because this seems like an issue that is not easily solved over the course of the webinar.
And also, just so you know, Katura, if you are on our school, if you're one of our students, and you have any, if you have purchased Cartoon Animator and you have access to the 12 principles of animation, in there you can find Sato. He's he's on my team. He's a certified instructor, and he helps one-on-one when it's something complicated that you're struggling and struggling and struggling. Sometimes you just need 5 minutes of one-on-one, someone looking at what you have on the computer, and then, oh, it's because you haven't clicked there. Just click and all your problems are solved. Sometimes the answer is really easy. So yeah, that would help. Reach out. I'm going to leave the email here, Sato at 2danimation101.com, on the chat, so you can write to him asking that in depth. And if you speak English or a little bit of English, or you can type it, you can have a live session with him. All right.
Cool. A couple of more questions, and then we're probably going to call it a night here.
Yeah.
In North America, Kim asks, just to confirm, the partner edition Movavi we got is just for personal use, which means apparently you can't use it for anything apart from YouTube videos. I'm not sure about their user license agreement. Partner edition of Movavi. That's probably, I don't want to say anything out of turn here, so that's probably something you want to bring up with Movavi, since I'm not super familiar with their EULA. So yeah, unfortunately, it's something that I think you probably have to deal with them. I know there's a personal version and a business version. But yeah.
Hmm.
On first glance, I can't see anything in terms of restrictions on it. So yeah, sorry about that, Kim. That was a question that yeah, does not mention the partner numbers. That's something that you probably have to bring up with Movavi, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Sorry about that. I can tell you all about our EULA. I helped write some of it, but Movavi, I'm not really sure. Okay, it looks like we're out of the woods here. We're clear of questions in the Q&A. So yeah, awesome. I wanted to thank you so much, Mark, again for helping us with this webinar and you know, helping us spread your knowledge and teach all the Cartoon Animator 4 users what different ways they can use the tools. And thanks everyone again here for that's stuck with us for attending today's webinar. Really appreciate you guys coming by. And make sure you fill out those surveys because we always want to have more webinars in the future that you know, have details that you want to learn about. So make sure you fill out that survey that we're sending to you guys, and we will give you 10% discount for the content store and the possibility of having your topic discussed in the future as well. Cool.
Awesome.
Anything else to add, Mark?
I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Right on. Yep.
Take
Cheers,
care.
everyone. Thanks so much, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next webinar. Thanks again, Mark.
Take care. Bye bye.